Okay, we're closing in on the end game of Yume Nikki. Gonna hop back in bed. Again, thank you to the people who gave me tips. Oh! In one. How baller. How baller is that? Alright, so we descend down here. Spooky, spooky. We've done this event maybe twice before. But we weren't able to fully explore it just because we didn't have all the necessary effects. So, yeah, there we go. Alright, puzzle. Ready to solve a puzzle? There it is. Casa? Oh, look at that. Look at that puzzle solved. What a game this is. Ooh, now this is a cool area. And, So you notice that this guy will always give you a hair effect. And he's always hanging out with some blood. What's up with that? He's really aggressive, too. Alright, well, let's check out our final effect. The poo hair. I totally forgot about this one. And you can spawn a little fly. It just circles around wherever you leave it. Kikiyama, you glorious bastard. That is so stupid. Can I do this? Nah. Alright, well, we got the poo hair. This is not... I said last time that we picked a good one to end on. But that was just because of this whole dream within a dream quest. This is... pretty undignified final effect. Oh! Oh, snap. Oh, okay, okay. So I thought I had to fall asleep to get here in the first place. But, it looks like instead, yeah, you just fall asleep while you're here. Oh, yeah. Oh, I love this place. And this guy. What is up with this guy? He says that to you? Just change? I think he's down for cat. Oh, now he won't play the piano. Well, let's get him up by the piano. Isn't that cool? I love that. I love that so much. That touching different parts of the piano plays a different note. That little touch, buried so deep within this game, is just beautiful. So where are we? We went into a dream within a dream, so even the logic of the outer dream doesn't apply anymore. We went downstairs into a basement, put out a fire. We're in some sort of file storage location. And then now we are definitely on a spaceship. I don't know about you, maybe this is a controversial opinion based on just what we've seen. But to me, this is definitely a spaceship. And it becomes even more clear that it's a spaceship. Well, you can see the stars and stuff going in the background. But now we have to grind out the next event. So there's a bed here. Some sort of spaceship bed. And I don't quite remember how this works. I think it's like we just have to keep trying to go to sleep, and at some point the event will happen. And it's not really a dream within a dream. Like, I thought this was the dream within a dream, but this is just... we're just killing time while the spaceship takes us where it's going to take us. I love the music here. I'm kind of sad that it's raining. I think it looks cooler if, like, that side is just completely black. But as far as I know, we can't turn off Umbrella. There's no, like, nice weather one. Make some lightning, though. Tyrannosaur. Tyrannosaur. Trying to make the Super Mario RPG lightning sound. Tyrannosaur. Just die. Can't go to bed if you're dead. Good lesson to us all. Not really sure what the strategy should be is. Not really sure if I should sleep for like a bit, just sleep indefinitely. If I should go check on the captain here, who I like to think is also controlling the ship from this piano. I love this guy. Alright, back to sleep. Yeah, I'm not quite sure exactly how this works. I know what I'm looking for. Like, I know when it happens. It's pretty obvious. I think I just do this. I can kind of remember doing this before. But then again, I could have also just been doing something wrong for a while. And then looked it up. This is good, though. This is a nice finale. And I'm kind of glad, like, Uboa we grinded out for a while, but it didn't really take that long. So I'm actually down for, like, a long grind. In this sort of artistic game, grinding seems, like, really against the purpose of everything. It's supposed to just kind of be an immersive experience. It's supposed to be contemplative. It's supposed to be, I don't know. Well, I don't know. What kind of experience have you been having? It's supposed to be about emotions, at any rate. It's supposed to be about emotions and deep thoughts and stuff like that. It's not really supposed to be just like a test of your will. It's not really necessarily like a challenge. And yet at the same time, I think video games are quite unique in the way that certain experiences of them can be heightened just from the context of how difficult or tedious or time-consuming it was to get them. So in a situation like this, if this was easy, you know, not only do we have to get the first RNG event, but now we have to get this one. I don't think the end result, what ends up happening, would feel anywhere near as powerful or iconic or memorable or beautiful. That's just how I feel. I don't know. I don't know. I'm curious what other people think. Because it's like, you know, I think about making a game like this quite often. It's certainly something I'd like to do at some point if my ability to make sprites that look like what I want them to ever gets over some threshold. And I think about, like, would I want to have things like this? Would I want to have long random events that are very unlikely and you have to grind for? I kind of think I would. I kind of like the idea of people who really love the game, who really want to see all that it is to offer, having a bit of a barrier, a bit of such that if you're just having like a neutral experience, if you're just liking it okay, you likely wouldn't put in the effort to see what's on the other side of the barrier. And thus only people that are really affected by the game, that for whatever reason find themselves really touched by it, will go the whole 9 yards and get into this bed over and over again, while questioning the whole time if this really is the right method. I'm gonna give it another... Well, oh my god, I'm being so, like, contrarian right now. I just literally described what I think is, like, a cool experience, a rewarding one that is worthy of being in games. And then I was just about to turn around and say, you know what? I'm just gonna go check a guide in a few minutes if I can't make this work. Oh my god, I have no consistent beliefs anymore. I have no. What do I do? What do I do? Let's go over here. Just for a change of pace. Let's look at the window. I really like that this is how the spaceship looks. I think the spaceship design is fantastic. It's got some kind of stereotypically futuristic elements. The whiteness, the curvedness, the kind of pristine feel. This seems kind of futuristic, and yet there's other elements. It kind of reminds me most of all of like the rooms at the end of 2001. Just that kind of mixture of like archetypical, extremely minimalist, with kind of the essential comforts, and this vague. Well, in 2001 it's not vague, but here I get the same sort of vague notion that it's like, oh, you're set up to be spending a lot of time here. You're not set up to just have the time of your life here, but to be able to live here, you know, for as long as it takes. For years and years, if need be. Just that kind of almost solemn feeling I really like. And then, of course, there's things in this spaceship that have no real aesthetic match to any other sci-fi setting I've seen. Like the gigantic piano, the gigantic bed that you just get in and out of over and over again. I hope. I hope that you get in and out of over and over again. I hope that you just don't have to just sit in there for some set amount of time. I guess we'll try that. Let's lie in bed for a minute and see if that does the trick. I want to kind of experiment with this legitimately, you know? Like, I want to... I mean, I already got some help from people, and I'm glad that I did. But now that we've come this far... Because after this, we're done. After this event, I think we've seen pretty much everything in the game. I know that there's one super ultra rare event that wasn't discovered, I think, for years after the game's release. It's in the monochrome desert. There's like a 1 in 2,000 chance or something absurd that this bizarre balloon just drifts across the screen. And I've never seen that legitimately. I just watched a YouTube video, but I'm not going to see it now. That's far, far, far too much effort. And aside from that, I think we've seen the entirety of the game. I would say please point out if I'm wrong. Please let me know if there's other things you'd like to see. You know, there probably are a few little things. Like, I think there might be a couple other dark areas that now that we finally have the lamp, we could go check out. But I'm not really super feeling it. And we could make our way back to another 8-bit area and try out the final effects in 8-bit. It might be kind of fun, but I don't know. Seems like a lot of effort just to go there and try them and be like, those are cute. I think this is a good finale, this last event, and then we'll go see the ending of the game. This game does have an ending. I haven't really talked about it much, you know, because of spoilers, but it is something. It is very distinct from the rest of the game in its kind of cinematicness, in its tone, in the events that happen. You'll see. It is quite upsetting. I'll say that. That's all I'll say. So, I don't know. I don't know what kind of warning I can give that also doesn't give too much away. I feel like almost everyone knows how this game ends. Alright, this isn't doing it. I guess we'll go back to this method. Maybe I do have to go check on him every time. But I don't think so. I kind of remember it's like, get in bed one time, and it like dissolves as if you're falling asleep. And then you're woken up by the next thing that happens. As this gentle indoor rain pours, which we can't turn off. Kind of unfortunately. It's kind of weird, you know? Because this is such a unique area. And the way that it's like completely black on the outside of the ship is pretty unique and cool, I think. And yet, as far as I know, you can only get here by using the umbrella, and thus enabling perma-rain. So I'm a little confused. It seems a little counterintuitive. It's like, we talk about this with Fukumoto a lot, right? His anti-cinematic style. That it almost seems like sometimes he's going out of his way to have physical things that he needs to keep drawing in every panel that really undermine the tension or the cinematic feel or the drama of it. Similarly here, yeah, it's just always going to rain. You almost have to kind of just imagine what it looks like without the rain. Well, I guess I'll just keep trying for the length of a normal episode. And then if we don't get it, I'll check a guide in between episodes. Not just for your sake, like not just because you know, I'm trying to be big YouTuberman, but for my own sake, because I have to go to bed at some point, and I was planning on finishing this up tonight. After this, I'm going to play a bunch more Hypnospace Outlaw. Like, not tonight, but that's just my next gaming plans. So hopefully some of you that have been watching this have checked out that one. I think it's really cool. It doesn't really quite scratch the same itches that Yume Nikki does, but it has a lot of the same kind of satisfying... Well, it scratches some of the same itches, I guess I should say. You know, exploration, kind of unraveling mysteries, seeing things that are quite bizarre and wondering if they could mean something beyond what they look like. If those are things that you liked about Yume Nikki, you might like them in Hypnospace Outlaw too. Beyond that, I'd like to play more Yume Nikki fan games. The only ones I've really put much time into are Dot Flow and Yume 2-Key, which is also pronounced Yume Nikki, but you know the one I mean. Dot Flow is another single-person project. I think it's quite good. I never beat it because I found out that the ending sequence radically changes the gameplay into something that's much more video gamey, and it didn't appeal to me at all. But maybe at some point I should go back and actually play through that whole thing. Because it does have very cool environments, very cool effects. And Yume 2-Key is like a fan community one. Lots of people contributing different worlds. It has an insane depth of content in it. There's sections where you can just read books. There's books scattered around. They're all in Japanese, and last time I tried playing it, I had no idea what they were saying. Now I might be able to take a crack at it. Should be kind of cool. I hope I don't have to like leave the spaceship and then go back to the bed. I'm really paranoid about leaving the spaceship because it's like, it's a spaceship, you know? Who knows if it'll be here afterwards? Oh! Well, that's not even an option. The boarding area has been closed off. Okay, well that's good to know. So at least that's not on the table as something that we're supposed to do. Yes, hello. Now you can go back to work. You know, I'll accompany you a bit. You like that one? Not even close. Oops, it goes... Oh, oh, okay. Sorry, it's not gonna work out. But Yume Nikki, I was quite impressed with some of the areas. Some of the other areas I was like, this is maybe a little too on the nose. But I'd like to see more of it. So maybe I'll play that at some point. Aside from that, there's a couple other Yume Nikki clones that I've heard good things about. LCD Dem or something like that, which I think is by a Western developer, whereas all the other ones I've played are Japanese. So that'd be kind of cool. I don't know what else. I feel like there was a few more that I used to know about, but now I've totally forgotten. It's been a while since I kind of followed the genre. There's a couple of YouTubers I know that are kind of into this sort of game. There's of course Saint, the legend, Saint Timmy, who makes videos playing all sorts of just very bizarre, obscure, kind of artsy games. Some of them really blur the line between kind of experimental work done by people very involved in video games and then like total outsider art done by people who have seemingly no clue in their mind what makes an enjoyable game. He's become a real community figure in game preservation. Was at the center or near the center of a kind of a controversial thing where this guy who has a bunch of unreleased games, I don't really remember the details, but somehow Saint got access to a game that had never been publicly dumped before, and there was some debate about what he should do about it or whatever. Anyways, so yeah, I quite enjoy his content. There's another one called... Oh, it was just there in my mind. Lucid Dreams? Lucid Nightmares? And this is someone I actually encountered way back on the day on V, the 4chan video game board. There was a thread where people were sharing their YouTube channels, and I saw Selfish Dreams. There it is, Selfish Dreams. I saw Selfish Dreams' channel, and he was playing art games sort of in the manner of Timmy, Saint Timmy. And I was like, okay, this is pretty cool, so I subscribed to him. Followed him for a while, and then of course I lost all my subscriptions when my channel was deleted. But recently I saw Saint, whatever you want to call him, retweeting some of his stuff on Twitter. And it seems like he's gotten quite popular. And now makes games of his own on top of discussing games like this. So I thought that was really cool. I was really happy to see how kind of far he'd gotten into this niche community and how he was expressing himself. Very inspirational. I think when I first saw his channel, he had literally like 4 subscribers. Like it was single digits. And I have no idea how many he has now, but it's more than 4. Alright, I'm about ready to give up. Another one that I've talked about on the channel before is Kanoguchi, who makes music and web art and a variety of yeah, you would kind of call them games, interactive experiences, things like that. Some kind of instruments, music for 4 buttons. It's my favorite. Some like very kind of horrific and haunting, just kind of like interactive art. I think the most famous one is Go Rotten. You should check that out late at night with no lights on. I'm a really big fan of his work. I'm happy to see that he's still at it. It seems like now he's largely focusing on music, but I think his music is like fantastic, so I'm not too upset. I don't know what to do here. But yeah, it's a whole big world out there of people who make and enjoy games like this. I think it's funny that in many ways I think video games are the most inscrutable medium, in that if you see music that is truly experimental, is truly outsider, you're still at least perceiving it to its full extent just by listening to it, right? Same with movies or visual art or books or whatever. Whereas video games can have these kind of layers of mystery where you actually have to really invest a lot of time and effort into understanding them, into getting into the mind of their creators and puzzling out all the things that you're being asked to do just to see it. Like right now, I'm like trying to reverse engineer Kikiyama's brain, trying to figure out what they want me to do in order to see this last event. And it's like an experience totally different than, you know, trying to figure out the meaning of a book or something. Like it's still, of course, a challenge or a puzzle, but you can at least say that you saw all of the words in the book in the right order and understood. My camera's all blurry, and understood what they meant. Whereas, even if you didn't understand like the themes or whatever, right? Whereas this, it's like I won't be able to see it unless I can solve this puzzle. And at the same time, that video games are the most inscrutable medium, I think they're also just like the most transparent, like stupid, like it's Call of Duty 17, this time in space, like throw a whole bunch of money and hours of programming labor and like $1 billion in advertising at something with, as far as I can tell, like, I mean, easy for me to say, I've never played these games, I'm just being kind of dismissive and elitist, but from what I can tell, like absolutely no passion or creative ingenuity or sense of wanting to challenge the consumers. Just like, here it is again, and here it is again. And I can make the same complaints about like blockbuster movies or certain formulaic genres of music or books or whatever, but video games seem like the worst ones. And that it's literally just, all right, here's your yearly sequel. Here it is again, like, buy it again next year, please. And that people still put like hundreds of hours and stuff into it. Like at least like a blockbuster movie, you just like see it once, you know? The kind of drudgery of it is just over after those 3 hours or whatever. But then again, I have heard that there's people in an effort to make Avengers Endgame the highest billing movie of all time. Which is just so stupid. They're seeing it like over and over again, like people seeing it like 6, 7 times in a row. And this is a phenomenon we've seen before with like Titanic and Avatar. But when they interviewed those people, they just genuinely wanted to see it over and over again. It was kind of like an escapist thing that I think a lot of them were kind of going through problems in their life or something like that. And they just like enjoyed the fact that for 3 hours they could be totally immersed in James Cameron's story. But on the contrary, when I see posts about this, like, see Avengers Endgame 6 times, one for each of the original Avengers or whatever, all the comments are like, I'm so sick of this movie. I'm so tired of seeing it, but I just gotta see it again. Need I remind you that both Avatar, which is the movie they're competing with, and Avengers Endgames are owned by Disney, Fox, Marvel conglomerate. Need I remind you? It's so it bothers me so much. It's just so stupid. It's just like painfully stupid. Like I just wish these people had something else going on with their lives. Just anything, even if it's just getting in and out of a virtual bed over and over again. I don't know. I hope I'm not offending anybody. I don't like to complain about stuff on this channel because it's like I'd much rather talk about things I enjoy. But when I heard about this and I realized it wasn't a joke, I was just like, oh god. Here's the other one. You have to talk about box office adjusted for inflation, right? Otherwise, it's just a completely pointless number because the cost of movie tickets is just constantly going up. And adjusted for inflation, both Avatar and Avengers Endgame are like, I don't think even in the top 10. Maybe they're in the top 10, but they're not. They're nowhere near close to number one. The number one is Gone with the Wind, which has made like over $3 billion, whereas Titanic, Avatar, Avengatar, is like closing in on like 1.7 million or something. I don't even think, or billion. I don't even think it hit 2 billion. I might be wrong. I don't really know the numbers, but I know the gap between Gone with the Wind and both of them is like absurdly huge, and they'll just never, ever be able to catch it, no matter how many stupid go see it for every one of the original Avengers. I saw a post that was like, I really didn't want to go see it again, but it was Memorial Day, and the next box I had to check off was do it for Captain America, so I went to see it. And I was like, there's no one in this world, no one involved symbolically in what you're doing, like Captain America, the character, if he was real, would be disgusted by this. The actor who plays Captain America, Chris Hemsworth, or whatever, definitely be disgusted by this. The directors of the movie, disgusted by this. Anyone who has fought in a war, disgusted by this. The idea that what you should be spending your Memorial Day doing is watching a 3-hour movie about superheroes instead of, I don't know, volunteering at your local Legion, fundraising for veteran support, learning about issues that veterans face, learning about the historical and social context of war so that you can better understand what it means to send people overseas to fight and die for you. Like good God, like, or at least just go find a flag and stare at it or something. Like, if you're really just about the whole America circle jerk. Oh my God. Oh, it's just so sad to me. You notice how sometimes the music seems to skip when I get out of bed? What does that mean? I'm starting to think I'm doing something wrong. I kind of feel like the first time I did this, it didn't take so long. So, and this episode is also crazy long, so we're gonna cut it here. And then I'm gonna look at a guide, and then I'm gonna figure out what to do. Alright. Hopefully you don't feel too bad about that. I made it through the vast majority of this game just relying on my memory. So I'm pretty proud of that. So I'm okay with, in the end, having to ask the old internet for help. Alright, see you in a bit.